before joining us. We are staying in the nation's capital, where economic activities seem to be picking up gradually after days of protest. As at 10:18 this morning, no sign of protesters at the MKO National Stadium, Abuja. When TVC News spoke to the police officers stationed at the stadium, they said the protesters are no longer allowed to stay outside the National Stadium, but they can move inside the stadium to continue the protest. President Bola Tinubu, during his nationwide broadcast on Sunday, appealed to the protesters to end the agitation in the interest of the nation. The president also promised to foster true trust with the Nigerian people and demonstrate his commitment to meaningful reform.
I hereby enjoin protesters and the organizers to suspend any further protest and create room for dialogue, which I have always acceded to at the slightest opportunity. Nigeria requires all hands on deck and need us all, regardless of age, party, divides, to work together, reshaping our destiny as a nation.
For more on the president's nationwide broadcast, former governorship aspirant in Anambra State, Ikenna, Azomchine, joins me on the news. Good to have you join us on TVC News at 1. But the president's broadcast has been receiving different reactions, and especially his call for dialogue. In Lagos, for instance, we've been told that contact numbers designated for dialogue have received calls from people who are seeking to engage with the government. What's your reaction to this?
My greetings to Nigerians, and I am with you all in spirit. I think the link is a welcomed link between the government and the aggrieved Nigerians. But I think it's very important that we go to the real issues. The issue of hunger and insecurity. You know, you would agree with me that for the last how many months, each time I'm on television, I've been singing that the Nigerian people are suffering, that the Nigerian people are hungry. We are underground people. We travel within the Nigerian roads and we see the movement of food being hindered by hoodlums and checkpoints. This was a real challenge before even the protest started. So for people to run out of their houses mad that they can't feed again, something is fundamentally wrong.
The president acknowledged, Mr. Azomchine, the president acknowledged the concerns of the people in that broadcast. And it's something he had done even before the broadcast, talking about the fact that he felt their pain. It was with a heavy heart he was addressing and all of that.
Well, I don't think the president has gone deep enough into the demands of the protesters. If you ask me from my own opinion, I would have expected the president to go to XYZ things and don't immediately hit on them. I think the president still has a lot of opportunity to dialogue with the peaceful protesters. Right. And at the same time, the security agencies must not allow politicians use them against the peaceful protesters, because you can see that people are already infiltrating and causing a lot of mayhem.
I hear you, Mr. Azomchine. Let's look at, with this point you've made, let's look at another dimension to this protest, which was the action of some demonstrators who are actually waving a foreign flag on Nigerian soil. That is treason. And the Chief of Defense Staff says it will be viewed and treated as such. What's your take?
You know, my fear, these were the same crowd of people 1 year ago that were the major supporters of the current government.
Do you have any evidence, Mr. Azomchine, do you have any evidence to back that up? Did you see them carrying the flag of any political party or any images of any candidate?
I'm going somewhere. I don't want to be pushed into political discussions because the APC government got most of its support from the northern youths. So why are the same youths now protesting against the government they supported? So we should be asking the questions to them. But I'm not here to discuss politics.
Mr. Azomchine, we are actually not talking about politics. We're not talking about politics, but don't you think, if I may land, please, if I may land, please, is there no line? Is there no difference? Is there no distinction between protest and anarchy? What would you say, I mean, if, for instance, in some other country, you find the flag of another country being flown? How do you react to that? Do you think that is really politics?
Those who are doing that should be arrested and punished severely. Nigeria is a country that has grown. Nigeria is bigger than what we think, and we are toiling with it. The Nigerian state is the pride of Africa. Anybody raising any other flag should be arrested immediately. And don't forget what I said. We cannot, say what's really in the minds of some of these protesters who have infiltrated the peaceful protesters. Because I don't think anybody who is hungry looking for daily meal will remember Russian flag. There are other motives, and those are the people the security agencies should please fish these people out. And don't forget, we've always alarmed the federal government that the northern youths were growing hopelessly, no control. There's no birth control. There's no skill acquisition facilities available for these youths. You see the results.
Mr. Azomchine, if you say there are none, that may not be entirely correct, because, for instance, one of the facilities that was looted, talk about the one in, was it in Kaduna State now, or was it Kano? I mean, that was set up to actually teach young people tech skills, but of course, it was looted, and we all saw what happened. So what is your advice now, as we wrap up the conversation? What's your appeal? What's your advice to, those people out there?
My advice to the government, first of all, is to please listen to the yearnings of the peaceful protesters. Because genuinely, every household is hungry. Every household, plus mine. Go to the real issues. Solving the immediate problem of the protesters. First of all, beat the fuel price. Go to the fuel price. For it low, it's still above 1,000. How can people survive like this?
It's actually not above 1,000 based on what I have seen in some location. But if there are any places you visited and it's over 1,000,
how much did you meet it last year? How much
you can share about that? No, I just wanted to be clear about the figure. If you mention a certain amount, we just need to be sure that's what the price is. But then it's been good talking to you, Mr. Azomchine. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Former governorship aspirant in Anambra State, Ikenna Azomchine. Thank you for joining us on the News at 1.
You're welcome.